All right, y'all, we are 4 episodes in, and Delilah is getting good. Let's talk about episode 4, Andre. Okay, so I'm going to start this video off where the episode ends, and Delilah finally goes on a date, child. Her and Jamal look like the best, most amazing, super synergetic couple. Yes, I am spotting all type of synergy. He is definitely really into her, and she looks super smitten by him. Their little walk, date, eat, and catch up is so cute, and it's probably the best like positive highlight of the episode because this episode was full of drama, y'all. Just pure drama. We actually leave off with the episode ending with Delilah stepping away for a second to take a call from Leah, in which Leah is being confronted by a home invader, and it's probably someone breaking in to steal her phone and her laptop. Early in the episode, we saw that Osborne Tactical had sent her a letter saying that she needed to turn in her phone and her laptop or she would be sued for the actual belongings, and not because the laptop and phone belong to them, but because she has documents that belong to them on it. Delilah attempts to call it a bluff, but Leah doesn't get the belongings out of her house fast enough. Like, Delilah asks her to bring it to the office so that they can clone them and then she could turn it in so that they will be able to still keep whatever information she had in her possession. But you know our good sis doesn't do that. And this is just one other thing that is going to cause a complication in the case. We leave off in the episode not necessarily knowing if she's okay, if she's been kidnapped. We have to kind of worry because Greg Shea was killed behind all of this mess that's happening with this case. And I don't necessarily believe that she's going to disappear or die just yet, but I definitely could get with the idea of like they probably kidnapped her, which we won't know until next episode. And child, why didn't you just get up and take the dang on laptop and the phone to Delilah's office, girl? Like, I could not be a lawyer and have clients that's just doing the silliness that's just compromising their life. I don't understand. The start of the episode, we are clued in on the discrepancies that are in the actual report, and in particular, the report from the army in reference to what happened with Nate. Nate's report says that they were ambushed. However, the official report from Osborne Tactical and the Army says that there was an equipment malfunction that is leading to the C-15 and some of the errors in which Greg Shea was reporting. This is a great find by Demetria, even though she's super over eager, y'all, and she's giving me I don't know vibes. Sis is coming through in the clutch with the wins, and she was able to spot this in the evidence, as well as finding 6 other incidences in which something like this happened, in which this particular sergeant was forging actual incident reports and basically repeating what happened even though it didn't happen, just to make things look a little bit more official. And there is definitely a cover up happening here. Delilah, being Delilah, decides that instead of just going ahead and filing the deposition and calling Osborne to the carpet to answer for these discrepancies, she wants to tip Tamara off, y'all, and get Tamara to walk away from this case now with this new information that's developed. Child, Delilah's faith in Tamara is admirable but foolish. Though the episode kind of lends us to believe that, oh, if she decides that this is actually true after reviewing the evidence in which Delilah gives her and consulting with the client and checking him on it, that she's going to walk away. But ultimately, y'all, we know that Tamara does not walk away from this case. She wants this partnership, and it's very interesting to me because I do see a struggle with her. I see a struggle in reference to her knowing what's right, but then her also wanting the partnership that will come from winning this case. And right now her wheels are turning and her trying to figure out how she can kill 2 birds with 1 stone in reference to doing what's right, potentially getting justice for Nate, as well as still protecting Osborne Tactical and getting her promotion. Ultimately, she wants to pin everything on the army, and Delilah ain't having that. So these two will continue to spiral, and their friendship is going to continue to unravel because this is yet another way that Tamara is disappointing Delilah and not simply just doing what's right. On another lighter note, Tamara actually gets engaged, and that is what slows Delilah up when she's bringing the evidence for her to review because Delilah walks in on the actual engagement. And it's so beautiful to see how deeply Tamara is loved, and her relationship looks great. So it's unfortunate what's happening with her professionally and with her personally between her and Delilah, but sis definitely has a little bit of support on her side and holding her up, so it ain't all bad. Tamara ultimately decides to stay on the case after confronting her client at Osborne Tactical, in which they do some type of demonstration with the C-15 and live ammunition to prove that it is not setting things off or causing any explosions. But child, I feel like that was a setup. I don't believe that that was live ammunition. Something was rigged just so that they can put on this little dog and pony show and be able to get Tamara off of their scent, because they're definitely hiding something. And this little show, to me, just proved it. It did not disprove it. Y'all, if Christine just don't want Nate no more, why she can't just say that? Why is this going along with showing up at the retrofitting plans for their house, figuring out how they're going to make his house ADA compliant for when he comes home in a few weeks? She actually missed the initial appointment for that, thinking it was the next day. Like, sis is so wishy-washy. It's like, if you just not gonna be here, don't be here. If you really just don't want your husband no more, sis, all you really got to do is say that, because Delilah already knows what's the deal. If we go back, the episode is titled Andre, and Delilah brings it up to her dad in this episode because that's the one thing, the big elephant in the room that nobody is talking about. He said that he was a friend of Christine and Nate's, but Christine is shacked up with him, not trying to come home, and also doing Nate dirty and being very, very distant, not taking care of their son, but shacking up with this man. Like, girl, what are you doing? And who is Andre for real, for real? If you really want to be with Andre, sis, all you got to do is just say that. And poor Nate, like, I want to comfort him and how naive he's being about Christine completely being absent for him and Dion, which to me, the bigger thing is Dion. Like, that is your son, and you completely abandon him. You don't see him. You don't take care of him. You don't check in on him. And Nate is just letting this girl off the hook left and right. Like, oh, she needs time. Oh, she needs space. You're the one who went to war, became paralyzed, are in a wheelchair, and you need time and space to heal. You need support. Why is it okay that this girl is just shacking up with your so-called friend and leaving your son to think that he is unloved and unwanted? Child, it's the audacity and the ghetto for me. I really feel bad for poor Dion. In this episode, he asked Delilah if she's divorced, and then asks if his parents are divorced because they're currently living separate and he doesn't get to see his mom. And it's just like, how much more y'all gonna let this little boy's heart break? I just don't understand. In other news, Harper and Demetria are not necessarily getting along, child, and we can definitely see a storm is brewing because Demetria is definitely overbearing and nosy, and Harper is way more private and reserved. So it's going to be interesting to see how they will continue to work with Delilah, as the tensions are definitely coming to a head. And in this episode, we start to get a peek into what Demetria has going on in her personal life. We see her sit down for dinner by herself, but there's a table set for 2 people and only she's eating, and then she starts to cry, and I wonder if something has happened. Has she lost the love? You can tell that she's definitely lonely and emotionally going through it, but we don't really get much context, so it'll be interesting to see what is going on her end. If she recently lost someone or struggling with depression around being lonely or isolation, then it's understandable why she is so overeager, so overzealous, and so overbearing in the social settings that she has at work. And we don't really get clarity around why Tamara calls Leah and leaves a message for her to call her back. Hopefully Tamara has nothing to do with this break-in, child. But that is my rundown of episode 4, Andre, of season 1 of Delilah. Are you currently watching the series? What do you think about the video as well as last night's episode? Tell me all that and more in the comment section down below. I'm your host, Erica Vane, and I am covering all of the hottest and your favorite television shows, entertainment news, and film reviews. And you should join my tribe by hitting subscribe. I have the best comment section and community where we discuss all things entertainment, television, and film, and I know that you're going to love it here. If you missed any of my previous Delilah breakdowns, you can watch them on my Delilah playlist right here, or you can check out any of these amazing other series that I also cover, like All American or Snowfall as well. I post new videos every day, usually multiple times a day, so you'll never lack for content when you hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow in the next amazing television breakdown.